Is it free will or is it God's will? You go into your day-to-day life, who really controls the outcome? Does he know our outcome if we choose different directions? Does he know the outcome, or do we control our own outcomes?
And how much of that is God responsible for, and how much are we responsible for as people? I think anybody who's honest biblically has to acknowledge that you can make a strong biblical argument for Calvinism and Arminianism, which is this idea of free will. Biblically, there's just as many scriptures that actually would support both in many ways. And what does that mean? That we are to read scripture and reconcile that kind of middle ground. For me personally, I believe that the truth is somewhere in the middle. Scripture doesn't cancel out scripture. To interpret scripture appropriately, we have to do it in context, we have to do it exegetically, and we interpret scripture with scripture. So what we do see in scripture is that God is completely sovereign, and yet man does have some sort of will and volition. And we do see that God does form man like clay, and he is the potter, and he can choose to do with man what he chooses. And yet man has a volition and a will that man is completely responsible